we actually didn't want to poke a stick in Kevin Kennedy's eye over at Gap. So we didn't do any issue ads in the gubernatorial. We did, again, millions of dollars of ads related to Senate issues. So we spent about $21 million in the 2-year period. We were the biggest player on our side, other than the gubernatorial campaign itself. And that gubernatorial campaign spent about $37 million from election day of 2010 until the June primary, which was about triple the prior record set in 10. The scale of the spending here, by the way, and I don't like it when people say too much is spent on politics. Wisconsin state government spends $100 million a day, every day. The federal government spends $10 billion every day. But for state politics, we set records those couple of years, and so the union left nationally came in with about $80 to $85 million in the 2-year period to block or undo Act 10, and we matched them, we broadly. Okay, so outside of the gubernatorial campaign, this was the biggest group. This is backstory by way of saying, why did they do what I'm about to tell you here? So I thought things were over, and then went pretty quietly. Walker survives the recall. Things are quiet in 2013. Then, on the first Monday of October 2013, 2.5 years back now almost, my wife Leslie and I received the news that police in multiple counties had conducted coordinated home raids on some of our colleagues. That redirected our lives for ever since then. So we were in Kohler, Wisconsin. Actually, there was a meeting up there, political people, and we decided to cut off our meeting and go to meet with R.J. Johnson and Deb Jorrell at their offices in Madison. On the way, R.J. told me that he said, they came to my home, and he said, I don't care if they throw me in jail. We went and sat with them, and this is Monday. They learned of it Thursday by phone in the case of RJ, because RJ Johnson and his wife were at a fundraiser for the World Orphan Fund in Atlanta with the Governor Nathan Deal. That's what they were doing when Chisholm sent his raiders to their house, finding their 16-year-old home alone. Deb was home with her whole family. So Deb and RJ were white, on that Monday. They'd been hit with this. They'd been told, can't talk to anybody. Of course, they hadn't been sleeping. So RJ's son was 16. He was home. They shouted, shined lights, told him we have a warrant. He actually made them wait while he read the warrant. He was very composed. But they came in. They had multiple squad cars in front of the house. His grandparents live a half mile away. So he asked, can I call my parents? No. Can I call my grandparents? No. Can I call a lawyer? No. Make them sit through the whole raid. They went through the house, all the files, left a mess, took all the paper political files, took electronics. He talked them out of taking his computer, the 16-year-olds, said he had schoolwork on it and so forth. They wanted to take it, they didn't. Then they told him, you cannot tell the school why you are late. Now it's in the school day, it's the morning. So that's how he's left. Deb, who lives outside of Madison, RJ lives in the country, so no neighbors could witness this. Deb does not. So at Deb's house, 4 sleeping people, at least 5 squad cars, heavy lights in case somebody flees. These people, by the way, have been doing politics for their whole lives and have never even been slapped with a fine, right? So totally clean records. Ridiculous attack. So it's in the dark. They come in, they're shouting, and they come running into the house. And Deb asks, can I wake up the kids myself? No. An officer goes with her and is in there while she wakes up the children at this time. Anna was, I think they were 14 and 16, 14 and 16. So Adam, the older one, he doesn't know what's going on. He thinks that somebody has died. And it was minutes before he knew that his father was still alive, because he's just guessing what's going on. They sit them all down, read the warrant. The warrant is about failing to file a campaign finance report. That's what's in the warrant. They make them sit. No, you can't call a lawyer. Make them sit on a couch. Can't call anybody. And in that house, again, 2.5 hours. Now the sun comes up. And by the way, when I say pre-dawn, it violates standard procedure on multiple levels to do the raid this way, even if it was a legitimate warrant. It has to be extraordinary circumstances to do it in the dark. So somebody at this Chisholm's office lied and got them to do it in a very aggressive fashion. The raids were started between 6 and 6:10 on October 3rd, sun up in Madison at 6:55. So as those of you who get up early will know, it's not pre-dawn light, it's black. 50 minutes before sunup, it's dark. However, 2.5 hours later, it's light. School bus is going by that's supposed to pick up the daughter. No, you can't go. Boy's supposed to go to school. No, you can't go. So they're confined the whole time. And of course, they're wondering, mom's in politics. I mean, what's going on? Husband has a regular job. They take his computer. They take some of the electronics of the kids. The son there, again, talked them out of taking his also. He had college applications working. They took phones, shut down their communications, taking out boxes of paper files into squad cars on the street while people are getting ready and going to work and the school bus is going by. So that's the report that I got. Now, and to those of you who, so let's just say I've been at war ever since that morning. So.
Did they hit your house?
No, and the reason they didn't is I have in discovery of, in my Gab lawsuit, I learned why. So I was on the target list to have a raid that morning. The district attorney, Larry Nelson, anybody here live in Iowa County? Too bad, but there are only 22,000 people live there. It's the county just south of Spring Green, Wisconsin. Dodgeville is in it, Mineral Point Center. So our DA is a Democrat who signed off on this attack. He told Gab, this stuff was planned at the Gab offices in Madison with Chisholm's people there. He told Gab that sheriff's too political. And by the way, there's another sheriff who was never told about any of this, my friend Sheriff Clark. Where they didn't trust the sheriff, they didn't involve the sheriff. Where they did, in Dane County, Dodge County, and Columbia County, the sheriffs were involved. So they tried to get a law enforcement authority that would do the raid on my house without using the sheriff or the state police. State police report to Walker. They couldn't find anybody in short notice, so they did not come. They would have had to be hauling books and boxes for a long time, by the way. I keep a lot of papers, and I've been active politically since 1979. They would have had, who knows, my library is political. They might have been taking all my books, because they don't have any judgment. Anyway, they did not, which was an advantage for a number of reasons. I didn't know that they hadn't until that Monday, though, because I was on the road. But what they did do is serve me with a subpoena that Thursday. So for a while, I knew there was an attack on Thursday. I didn't know about the raid till Monday. So I got this 6-page subpoena, which had this horrendous, which I knew meant there has been a big spying operation on me. It's a horrendous attack because of all the names on it, of people that I deal with around the country. It's ridiculous. It's the one that had the 29 groups listed, all my communications with multiple people I deal with nationally too. It didn't say having to do with Wisconsin. It wanted my information back to April of 2009. This is October of 2013. Now, just so, as soon as I saw it, I knew that I would not be able to comply with it. And I sent and by the way, my attorneys have been so great on this, the guys out of Kansas City. I've been doing political work since their first year as a firm in 2006. My work has run through them, usually involved helping other people. But they flew, the senior partner, Todd Graves, is a pilot. He flew his little plane to the Lone Rock Tri-County Airport, 10 miles from my house, the Tuesday after the Thursday raid, and met with my team, and we spent all day mapping strategy. Fortunately, I was in I guess I'll tell you about